From a 25-bedroom flying palace to the fastest residential car ever created, to finally buying 50% of an entire country, what is the most expensive purchase in history? Starting off with the most expensive food purchase in history, served in the Linseth Howie Hotel in North England. This chocolate pudding is fitted with edible 24-karat gold leaves all around the dish, and it is crowned with a 2-carat diamond at the top. Not only that, but it is also made with expensive ingredients like champagne jelly caviar. And to cleanse your palate after that dish, why not get the most expensive drink ever purchased in history? The Diamalfi Limoncello Supreme. This drink is made with fresh lemons in the south of Italy. This drink is the perfect citrus flavor for the hot Italian sun. However, the taste alone is not what makes the drink so expensive. The bottle of the drink is actually made by Stuart Hughes, a renowned luxury designer, and only 2 of these bottles were ever made. This bottle is fitted with 3 single-cut diamonds at the neck, totaling to 3 carats combined, and a rare 18.5-carat diamond fitted in the body of the bottle. All this made the bottle to be sold to an anonymous Italian woman for $44.3 million. Now, food and beverages can get pricey, but if you're looking for the most expensive purchase in history, you need tangible items that can be valued at a very high price. You need the most expensive watch purchase in history. The Grandmaster Chime is the first and only version of this masterpiece, fitted with 1,366 individual components, 100,000 hours of development, millions of dollars of manufacturing costs, and 100 kids with no food and sleep to gather the diamonds you put on this watch. Equipped with rose gold on its dials and expertise craftsmanship, estimated the watch to be sold at $2.5 to $3.5 million. However, the watch flew past those numbers and was sold in Geneva, Spain auction house for $31.19 million. This later became the most expensive watch ever sold at an auction. But from one engineering marvel to another, let's go to the most expensive car purchase in history. After the fall of the Nazi regime in World War II, Mercedes-Benz no longer had a use to manufacture tanks and aircrafts anymore. In addition to that, they were in need of a dire rebrand because of their association with Nazi Germany. Ultimately, they decided on making a dominant F1 car that could instantly get the cheers of people on their side again and make the name trustworthy. And in 1955, the 300 SLR was fully built, fitted with 300 horsepower, advanced fuel injection, and the most notable aspect, an ultra lightweight car made entirely with magnesium alloy, which later became the biggest downfall of their career because in June 1955, the 300 SLR struck the back of another car in a race that launched both of them into a crowd of spectators. And the reason magnesium alloy was the greatest downfall is because magnesium alloy fire is extremely intense, fast spreading, and an industrial hazard, and it should not ever be put out with water. That's exactly what the fire crew did. The fire they doused with water spread the flames even further into the crowd, and the burning debris got launched into the running spectators. This increased the death toll to 80 people dead and 120 injured, which marks the deadliest motorsport accident in history. Ultimately, Mercedes did achieve a rebrand, just not in the way that they wanted, and 60 years later, the car was sold to an anonymous buyer for its rich history and being an engineering marvel for its time, which sold for $143 million. Even though you could have bought cars 10 times better for that money, it was more about the abstract value and the history of it rather than just the performance. And what is more abstract value than the most expensive painting ever purchased? The year is 1499. Leonardo da Vinci made a painting. Not this one, but this one. And this painting survived until the year 1958, England, where it was mistaken for the works of Leonardo's student, which was only sold for $72 or £42 at the time. It was then passed around between buyers until in 2011, where it was authenticated as a genuine Leonardo painting and shot up in price to around $100 million. Then in 2017, the painting was sold to Saudi Prince Badr bin Abdullah Al Saud for $150.4 million, making it the most expensive painting purchase ever sold in history, being worth almost twice as much as the second most expensive painting, which was this. This was sold for $236 million. But at least this one made it into art school. But moving from subjective value like art, let's go to actual value like the most expensive jewelry purchase in history. The Graf Diamond Peacock brooch is a super tall and huge jewelry art piece. This ginormous brooch is littered with diamonds that can show its personality coming through the jewelry, sitting at a staggering 4 inches tall. Massive. This brooch has hundreds of unique diamonds attached to it, but the star of the show is a blue pear-shaped diamond in the middle. This diamond is one of the rarest blue diamonds in the world, weighing at a staggering 20.02 carats by itself. Now, combining 1,305 individual diamonds that it has, this behemoth has 120.81 carats of the purest quality diamonds on it. Now, ignoring the fact that this brooch probably has a kill count trying to gather the materials, in 2015, the brooch was sold to an anonymous buyer for $120 million.
Elon Musk is planning to, in fact, merge SpaceX with xAI.
Elon announced this unprecedented deal, the $250 billion price tag that SpaceX paid for xAI.
Elon Musk is CEO of a lot of companies. xAI and SpaceX are two of them. xAI is Elon's company that is the AI engine behind Tesla's self-driving cars, and is also the AI engine for making explicit pictures of people without their consent, sometimes even minors. And in February 2nd, 2026, SpaceX bought xAI for $250 billion. Now, even though this is basically Elon putting money from one wallet to another, this not only counts as the most expensive company purchase in history, but also counts as the second most expensive purchase of anything in history. And talking about history, the United States of America wasn't always a humongous piece of land that you see today. The year is 1803. Murder is at an all-time low compared to previous years. Thomas Jefferson is the president of USA, and families in America are finally starting to bond together by watching public executions of people. At the same time, Napoleon was in a complex. France was in the preparation of invading England, but after the constant wars in Europe, they were flat broke and were in need of dire money. Coincidentally, France also owned the Louisiana Strip in America, and because it was so far away from Europe, he couldn't defend it properly if it were to ever get forcefully taken by the British. At the same time, the United States wanted to buy this little piece of land for $10 million. Now, something you need to know about Napoleon is that he's an expert bargainer, negotiating deals that are so good it doesn't even make sense. He sold the entire Louisiana Strip for $15 million. This entire land is the most expensive land purchase in history, but also the cheapest in history, as it was only 4 cents per acre. And adjusting it for inflation, this whole strip was bought with $445 million of today's money, making one of America's greatest deals ever made. Now that we have gone through the most expensive food purchases to the most expensive jewelry purchases and even company equity purchases, but to truly answer the question, what is the most expensive purchase in history, we need to define what the term most expensive really means. See, when calculating the cost of something, we need to relate it to something called money, and money is not always a linear thing, and it changes over time. From the 1800s, the value of the dollar has gone down 96%. So do we just equate it to this and job done? Also no, because as well as the dollar losing value, the value of the entire world has gone up significantly since 1800s. So a much better way of calculating the most valuable purchase in history is to see how much percentage a dollar takes up compared to the total GDP of the world at the time. And $15 million in perspective to the total GDP of the world in 1800s would roughly equal the value of $34.5 billion today. Now, I've been lying to you in this video. SpaceX acquiring xAI does not really fall under the standard definition of a purchase. It was more of xAI stocks getting converted into SpaceX stocks rather than Party A paying Party B money. This is why it does not count as a purchase, and company equity acquisitions in general is too complicated to count as a purchase, which makes the Louisiana purchase the most valuable purchase in history.